afternoon, everybody. This is Yoshi Shiraki, and this is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. You are listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM, and today we have our very special guest, Jeff Braylio, who is not only my friend, but he's also my real estate attorney. He's also been a real estate partner, very knowledgeable real estate investor, but also a very successful athlete. I know this because we know each other on a personal level. And so one of the things that I wanted to do today was bring Jeff in to talk about how he so successfully, repeatedly, over and over and over, can hit his goals that he sets for himself. He's done Ironman, numerous marathon, he's a swimmer, avid swimmer. Jeff, tell us a little bit about your athletic life. You will probably do a better job than me.
Well, I was always into sports, always athletic. Played a number of sports from tennis and volleyball, football, soccer, baseball growing up. Mostly for fun. You know, I really enjoyed sports, really enjoyed being active. I'm just one of those guys that likes to sweat. So having a good hard workout and feeling like I've exerted myself is always sort of an encouraging feeling. And then, you know, when I got to be an adult and after college, you know, unless you're a professional athlete, there's not a lot out there. There are some adult leagues and stuff like that, but I started to pick up running. I was actually in college.
Very cool.
And I was out jogging because I was a jogger.
Okay.
Jogger runner in junior high school.
Yeah.
Like I was one of those rare kids that just went out and ran 3 miles on an afternoon because I was bored.
Yeah.
So I was out running and I ran into a friend of mine and he was out jogging too.
Okay.
And so we stopped and we were just talking because we were friends and we ran into each other and he's like, hey, I'm going to go do a half marathon in about 6 weeks. He said, you should come do it with me. I'm like, a half marathon? Isn't that like 13 miles?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He's like, you can do it. I'm like, and he asked how long, you know, my longest distance that I've been running. I said, well, you know, I run 8-9 miles.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure that I could, you know, do it. But I'd never run a race. Certainly not a half marathon.
Right.
It was down in Moab. It was the Moab Half Marathon.
Oh, wow.
And it's in February. So it's in the middle of winter.
Okay.
So not like prime running season.
Yeah.
When I became much more dedicated, I ran all winter long. But yeah, so I just said, sure. And I signed up that day.
Wow.
And decided that, hey, I'm going to go run a half marathon.
That's amazing.
And I did, and I finished. And I think I even placed.
Wow.
If I remember correctly. It was one of those bizarre things. I'm like, I just ran a half marathon. I think I got a ribbon.
That is incredible. That's amazing. You know, I actually heard through a gentleman who's an avid runner, competitive. He says the human body's capable of tripling what it normally does. So if you run 3 miles regularly, not comfortably, but you're capable of doing 9. Right? So if you were doing 8 or 9, you could have even ran a marathon. Maybe not comfortably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, and we're talking goal setting today, but, you know, sort of the goal setting is, as far as athletics are concerned, it's kind of the same thing. It's very much mental. It's almost more mental than it is physical.
Right.
It's what you believe you can do.
Right.
And once I got that, you know, I just jumped in a half marathon and finished it.
Wow.
Then my brain knew, like, oh, this is something you can do.
Yes.
And I did it on a whim, so it wasn't like I made this big, huge goal and planned and prepared. It was like spur of the moment, jump in a race, but it really kind of, I caught the bug, the running bug.
Yep.
And mentally, I'm like, hey, if I can just jump in a half marathon, there are other things that I can do with running, and maybe I should actually start focusing to set some goals.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, awesome. So yes, you're good at hitting your goals. Now we're going to switch gears from sports to business, real estate in general. Specific. This is a real estate show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I happen to have, I sat on the board of the Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association for 5 years. I'm currently the vice president of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association. And so I talk to a lot of newer investors, people who are just getting started, and we'll discuss what it is that they want to do. I'm like, do you want to flip houses? Do you want to buy rental properties? Some of them want to, have their first investment as a fourplex. Some of them just want a fourplex and call it a day and they'll be done.
Right.
But then you talk to these people 12 months, 13, 14, 15 months later, they haven't done a thing. They haven't done a thing. And that I would say that's probably 80%.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a huge percentage of people that will set these bigger goals and then struggle with being able to achieve it. And I should say not even achieve it, but they struggle with even consistently pursuing it. At some point, they just stop pursuing it.
Right.
It's still a goal, but it's not being
pursued. Because they never
pursued.
achieved anything.
Correct.
And they lose the confidence, they lose the faith, and
exactly
the desire because they haven't achieved anything.
Right. So, what would you say is kind of some ideas, secrets, tips, maybe is a better word, maybe they are secrets.
Oh yeah, very valuable secrets.
Yes, that you've never shared anywhere but on here.
That's right. Your listeners only.
Yes.
World premiere.
Right. I was reading a buddy of mine. He's a fitness trainer, and he's saying already at January 24th, most of his clients that signed up to get in shape for their New Year's resolution are already starting to not come consistently, right?
Oh, I totally believe it. I saw a post on Facebook today from somebody that said, "Hey, it's only end of January, and the parking lot is half as full as it was 3 weeks ago."
At the gym.
Oh
my gosh, yeah.
So the gym, they lasted 3 weeks, and now all those New Year's resolutions are dead.
Right. Yeah, because getting in shape is such a slow process. You almost feel like you're not achieving anything, so it's easy to quit, right?
That's right.
So what do you do, if you don't mind me, that keeps you motivated, keeps you on track?
It's going to depend on the kind of goal.
Okay.
I think the first step really in goal setting is setting the right goal.
Okay.
And that, I think, is where most people just don't get it.
Got it.
They set tasks, not actual goals.
Got it.
And so to set an actual goal, it should be something not that you have to do, but something you want to achieve.
Okay.
And that's the big difference. For example, everyone sets a goal. I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week this year.
Yeah.
Right? And it lasts 3 weeks.
Right.
Going to the gym is not a goal.
Got it.
It's not. It's a step to achieve something else.
Right.
So you've got to be constantly asking yourself, why? Why did you set this particular thing? So why did you set the goal of going to the gym 3 times a week?
Right.
What's the point?
Right.
Okay, well, I want to get in better shape.
Yeah.
Why do you want to get in better shape?
Right.
Well, I'll be healthier, and great. Why do you want to be healthier?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I want to run a marathon.
Right.
And so you can keep going. There's never an end. That's kind of, every time you ask yourself why, you're always going to come up with another step, another answer, and you're never going to get to the end of that.
Yep.
But if you go through that process and you continually ask yourself why, you might get to the real achievable result that you actually do want.
Right.
I'm worried about my health. Maybe diabetes runs in my family.
Sure.
And I've got to lose the weight.
That makes sense.
Well, why do you want to lose the weight? Well, I don't want to get diabetes. Why don't you want to get diabetes? So I can be around my children.
Right.
For the rest of my life.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now we're getting to something that's more important to you. And, a lot of people say, it's your why.
Yep.
It's not always about what you do, it's why you do it. What's your why behind all of these things that you do? And that's what asking that question gets you to.
That makes sense. I think his name is Ed Milet, if I'm not mistaken. He tells a story where went to the doctor and the doctor discovered heart problems, and he had high cholesterol, blockage in his arteries, and the doctor said, you need to go into surgery and you need to start working out. And of course this is a shock to Ed, and he's like, how bad is it? And he says, well, let me ask you this. Do you have any kids? And he says, I've got a daughter. How old is that daughter? She's like, well, she's 4. All right, well, in about 20 years, if you don't get into shape, there's going to be another man walking her down the aisle. What do you think of that? And he was like, holy crap. He's like, really? He's like, really? So that was his why, is he wanted to be around so that he could walk his daughter down the aisle. And be at her wedding, opposed to him being gone.
Which has nothing to do with his health condition.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with his health condition. He didn't want to get into shape. He wanted to be around for his daughter.
Right.
So that makes so much sense. Is what is your why? I have a friend who talks about what is your why, and people will say like, I want to flip a house. Well, why?
Why?
And it's like, well, because I want the money. Well, what do you do with the money once it's in your hand? Do you play with it? Do you fold it, origami?
You put it in your pillow so you can sleep on it?
Right. And the reality is none of us really want the money. It's what the money can do for us, right? And so by just wanting the money isn't strong enough for us to take action. It's the fact that I want to put my kid through college, maybe.
Right.
That's more important to me than just making...
Take the family on a vacation.
Yes, spending the quality time. Yep, exactly. Okay, so that makes sense. So we now have determined that it's important and critical to know what your why is and to be as specific as possible, right? It's not about the money.
Yeah, super specific. And if you can set a goal in 8 seconds where you just hey, I'm gonna do this year.
Yeah.
That's not a goal, and you're not going to achieve it.
Right.
You've got to spend a lot of time
Yes.
actually thinking about it and going deeper as to why and why and why. If you spend even days or weeks mulling this over and thinking about it to find out what's truly important about what you're trying to achieve,
Yep.
you're going to get to the right goal.
Right.